way.
Where's the link?
You're
Okay,
live.
so you're live, so now you get
You can share
Let's copy that.
whichever link you shared before.
Is that the one you shared before?
No, it'll be different, but it'll be. Oh, let's see.
Is that where you got it from?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, the TD meeting.
Here is the link.
Questions, anyone?
Have you ever forgotten your tripods in the little rocket?
This thing?
I do it all the time. I pack everything.
We will start.
Even the flash trigger, the massive softbox,
And then-
stands, everything, all the little, and then I forget.
When you get there, yeah, like what?
Can I just kill the camera in the meantime?
Today.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
should be able to
erased.
push.
You've done it with the.
No, that's the mic.
Asking tough questions now in the meeting.
Yeah, when he can't turn you down.
Yeah.
How aggressively are we calling good fights?
Aggressively.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Turn the mic back on.
Yeah, what do you
Can you hear me?
want?
Oh, it works. Okay. All right. Well, then we can go. Okay, guys. I guess we're going to start the TD briefing. First of all, how do we see who's in the chat? Chris, come sit next to me. So I'm going to get my technical expert next to me.
The son you wish you had.
The son I wish I had. Okay, I see Etienne, I see Michael, I see Chris Toombs. What is all this here? Sorry, guys. The first time we've done this.
Yeah, there we go. I see everyone.
Chris Toombs, Chris Wally, Michael, Yaku, Hale, Kyle. Cool.
We've got 15. That's 15
Oh, there
guys.
we go. Okay. Well, should we give it 2 minutes to see if we get up to 30? Who's Lightning Boy? Hi, Lightning. Who's Lightning Boy?
Who's Lightning Boy?
Who's Lightning Boy?
Expose yourself.
Probably Nathan. He's got a weird name like that.
You know you're live, eh?
Nathan, sorry, it's true, dude.
Lightning Boy is Dieter. Oh no, Dieter. Dieter is Lightning Boy. Brian is there. Hey, all of GG is on one screen. Cool. Up to 17 people.
See if we click on. See if we can see the. Oh, I'm not. No.
No. Now we're still trying to work out how to display the course maps.
Yeah.
What's the sharing thing? Is it not that thing there? That guy?
Yeah.
Share screen.
Yeah. So if you can bring it up, yeah. Then
Oh
we
my
can
god. Oh my god. Okay. What's
close those tabs.
Okay. All right. Let's go and have a look. Oh no. I don't want to record anything. Select the tab to share.
Is it online or is it just a PDF?
No, it's just a
I
PDF.
think it's just the entire screen then.
You already sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just pop it up there.
I'll
How
do
do I do that? Oh, this? Click on it. What do I do? Share?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
So
not shared?
now,
or-
yeah, now you must just open it. Open the
the
PDF.
actual document. Oh God. No, that's coincidental that it's here.
Do you want to just have a look and see if it's shared there on
You
your?
guys see that? Sorry, guys, it's a bit of learning on the fly here.
No.
You still see me only? Oh.
Maybe
Sorry, guys, bear with us. We're trying to share this. No, you can't.
That's on that.
That's something else.
End stream, share, entire screen.
Yeah, and then I think you have to click on that, and then
Yeah.
share comes up. That's what I did.
Behind the scenes edit.
Nothing.
Nothing yet. Yeah.
So, question is: do we use Wing It, or do we?
We could just show it on our phones on the screen, just to explain
okay.
what we're talking about.
Could you? Yeah. Okay. If you could bring up the caddy book. Sorry, guys. We are going to. Okay. Well, I'm going to start.
Or just tell them to follow along with those.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it would help if you guys open the caddy book because I'm just going to be talking very briefly about each hole. But I think in essence, the caddy book is pretty self-explanatory. We're starting tomorrow. It's pretty exciting. Obviously, we want people to be on time. We don't want people to arrive late, and then we have to dock them, par +4 on the very first hole and kind of kill their tournament. So please be on time, at least 20 minutes. When you get to Ananda, you don't have to give the guard any tickets. He's got a register with your names on it. So just say your player name. So whatever, Chris Wally, and he will tick you off on a list. So it should be quite quick. He has a register. When you get to the restaurant, it'll be a bit chilly in the morning. But anyway, Fred will be inside at sort of registration table. You'll be asked to sign a document, absolving us of all liability if you trip and break your leg. But also you'll be signing for your player pack, which Fred will dish out to you on a sort of random basis. So you kind of point at the bag, you won't know what's in it. You'll receive your bag. It will have some goodies in it, and it will also have the player voucher that we discussed on the chat, which you can use later on in the day to get a meal at the restaurant. So hopefully that all goes well. Then before we go through the caddy book, and I'll be looking out for comments, but maybe just get through my bit. A few general things. We have certain holes with OB. If there are wooden posts with tape between the posts, then the tape denotates the OB line. If there's no tape between it, there's a couple of holes like that, like hole 9 comes to mind, then draw an imaginary line between the two stakes either side where the disc roughly is. Think about this, the inner edge denotates the OB, and then make a determination from that. There's a few areas, I think hole 6 and 18, where you have the creek. We do have white wooden stakes either side of the creek, which gives you OB. But obviously, we couldn't put wooden stakes all around along the whole stream. So if your disc is short or really long, if it's in the creek, it's obviously OB. If it's not, then it's probably safe. The card should do a determination. If there's any confusion, maybe play provisional, and we can sort it out later. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's pretty well demarcated. And just in general, if there's some confusion on the card as to the rules, you could, if the card can't make a call, well, if the card makes a call and the player involved isn't happy with it, I'll come to your comment there, Jandre. If the card can't make a call or you're unhappy with the call, then you can always play, the player can play provisional. So you kind of keep 2 scores going, and then later the TD will decide which of the interpretations was correct, and that will determine your score. Just having a look here at Jandre's comment on the OB quickly. Is the tape itself inbound or out of bounds? Where's Alex? What is the thing about this?
One of the disc has to be inbound.
Yeah. So the tape is
It's
out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tape is out of bounds, so the this has to be on the inbound side. Even 1 millimeter has to be on the inbound side.
Opposite of tennis, basically.
Yeah, thank you, Yaku. The tape is OB. Yeah, so it's not like tennis where the line is in. With us, the tape is out, or the line is out. Yeah, so just in general, if there's some sort of controversy, you give the benefit to the player. As I say, if there's dispute between the player and the card, then maybe play provisional. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I will answer any queries as we go along, but I wanted to kind of go through the caddy book just briefly. I'm not going to go through everything that's in the caddy book, but just a few kind of pointers. So we're going to try and do this.
Do you want to go to the course or to the
Course maps,
Okay.
yeah. So, okay, so, all right, so, let me do, where's the camera? Okay, so on hole number 1, pretty straightforward. The, obviously, just anything left of the white wooden stakes on an embankment is out of bounds. And the other thing to note is that you have the 2 wooden paddocks beyond the basket, but that little strip of land between the paddocks is inbounds, because we have had a few occasions where discs have ended up there. So that actually is inbound. So the wooden paddocks and inside is OB, but the little strip of it's, can't really show you now. Well, there, oh geez, there. It's hard to see, but there. Oh my God, okay, I give up. That small strip of land is actually inbounds. Okay, sorry, there is a question on what is a provisional. So basically, a provisional would be if you throw a disc and you're not sure if it's gone out of bounds, to prevent you having to walk there, discovering that it's out of bounds and having to come all the way back again, you might throw a second shot, which only comes into play if, in fact, the first thing that you were afraid of actually has occurred. Typically with an OB, but in this case, if there's a dispute on a rule, you can kind of play the 2 discs from the same place with whatever interpretation it is. And then one of those 2 scores will count at the end, depending on what the depending on what the correct interpretation is. Because I know there's a lot of rules and it's hard to keep track of every single rule.
On that. Yeah. Holes 3 and 5 are good ones to throw provisionals on if you're not sure.
Yeah, Alex has made the point. So, well, hole 3 as well.
Because you sort of cross the lake.
Yeah, well, you mean deep
If you're
or?
not sure, no. You think you're short, but you're not sure.
Yeah, so typical examples would be on hole 3, where if you're going across the lake, the OB line is quite close to the lake, but sometimes it's not clear whether you have made it. So then it's probably wise to save time to throw provisional from where you would have thought it would have gone OB if it did go OB, instead of having to walk all the way there, discover, oh shit, it is OB, and then have to walk back across the bridge and then to take your next shot. And also on hole 5, we've all been OB lots of times there. So if there's any doubt, just go there, throw from the drop zone, because it's an obligatory drop zone. Just throw another third shot in that case, and then go and see if, in fact, if you were lucky enough to not go OB, then you play from there. Otherwise, you've already thrown your third shot and you play from there.
Last point is you have to
Excuse me?
declare provisional.
Yeah, just to be clear, you can't kind of, you have to declare that you're playing a provisional, because otherwise people might say, oh, okay, well, he's given up. He's given up on that shot, and then that's where you are. So you have to just declare, look, this is a provisional. It's not necessarily my next shot.
Hole 2.
Okay, hole 2. Not much to say there, other than if you miss the Mando, it used to be that if you miss the Mando tree, that's the one, well, this is for the blue and white layouts, that if you miss the tree, you would have to re-tee. But we've now changed that there's now a Mando miss drop zone, and it is on the edge of the bowl, just before the bridge. You'll see there's a white stake that has it's marked as Mando miss drop zone, and it's got like a little bit of tape attached to it. Doesn't come into play often, but should you yank it and miss the Mando, you don't re-tee, you go to the Mando miss drop zone. I think that's all on that hole. Hole 3, yeah, we've kind of discussed the OB problems that can result from not knowing if it went OB or if it stayed OB on the other side. So that's something we might play provisional. The only other thing that's not in the caddy book that I decided on the spur of the moment is that the red layout, they may take an optional drop at the drop zone. So if it's windy or whatever, and you're scared that you're not going to make it across the lake, you can go and play. You can just say, okay, I'm taking the drop, and you can go to the drop zone, which is by just over the bridge by that little tree. You'll see 2 green bricks there, and you can just go straight there and play 3. Play your third shot from there. So that's if there's some. I know there's some. Some ladies who are quite newcomers who may want to avail themselves of that opportunity. Cool. Okay, hole 4, nothing much to say. We compared to last year, we did expand the outer bounds. It's not just the grandstand area where the seats are, but it's also that wooden fenced area to the right. That's all I want to say on hole 4. Yeah, and the sandpit as well. Hole 5, this is a common mistake that happens. So hole 5, we have compulsory drop zones. So if you throw your first shot, and it only really applies on the first shot, if you throw your first shot and you go OB, which is that creek area with white lines either side, then you've gone OB. If you are playing the blue layout, then you go to the compulsory drop zone as shown on the map by that little bush in front of the red tee. But if you do that playing red or white layouts, you go to the other side and play from that spindly tree, which is also the tee for hole 6 for the red layout. Just a little bit easier to try and salvage. You don't have to go over the creek again. So just bear that in mind. That's quite a few people have made a mistake that they all think they have to go to the little bush that's shown for the blue layout, but in fact for red and white you can make your life easier by just going to that tall spindly tree. I think you'll see there's two cones there, 2 orange cones that denotate that drop zone. Okay. Jakub, just another note on this is what Jakub is saying. Just another note on provisional. If you are playing provisional because of a rules dispute or some other reason that can only be determined later, it's important that you play both shots until the end. Yes, thank you, Jakub. Yeah, good point. So you play original shot in the basket and you play a provisional shot into the basket and keep note of both scores. Yeah, thank you, Jakub. Yeah, Jakub's just done the exam, so he's more clued up on this stuff at the moment than me. What hole are we on?
6.
Hole 6, just compared to last year, for those who played last year, we did institute a Mando tree. It is marked with a tape and an arrow, sort of in the middle of it's to the right of sort of middle of the fairway. So in other words, you can't take that big hyzer line on the outside anymore. You have to go up the middle. If you miss the Mando, then you go to that same OB. The OB drop zone for hole 5 is also the Mando miss drop zone for hole 6. And you'll see that the entire creek has now been demarcated with white wooden stakes. So it's quite easy to determine what is OB. Okay, hole 7. Hole 7, nothing much to say, pretty straightforward. No OB that really comes into play unless you really yank it and go over the electric fence, but otherwise pretty straightforward. We did change the basket compared to last year for those playing it for the first time again. Hole 8, we all play off the same tee there. The only difference, this is maybe a bit of confusion that I think sometimes arises, that the red layout also has a par 4, but the Mando that's shown in the map does not apply to the red layout. So you can go around the tree on the right-hand side. But for the blue and white layouts, you have to make the Mando, and if you miss it, then you go to that drop zone, which is by that tall spindly tree close to the Mando tree. I think there's 2 cones there as well, 2 orange cones. Similar thing on hole 9. For the red layout, the double Mando does not apply. Otherwise, yeah, OB on the left, OB long, so don't go there. Try and make it through. Anything else? Okay. People will jump in if I miss something. Hole 10, we've changed the basket position slightly compared to last year. It's a bit more to the left and a bit closer to the edge. So a bit more of get a few more skips and you get a few more death putts. Very cool, but otherwise, no, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Only thing would be, what's the priority on teeing/throwing?
Yeah,
I think let people tee first would be my.
people on top, you mean? Yeah, okay, Alex made a good point, because obviously hole 15 throws onto the same mound, and then there's people teeing off on hole 16 and on hole 11. So I think the people coming up on hole 10 should wait until those other groups have finished their tee shots before they.
Yeah, same for 15 later.
Yeah, same for 15 as well. So if you see people on the mound, let them tee off and get out the way before you throw your tee shot. Any questions? Yandre, on hole 8, is the outer bound left and the dogs? No, Yandre, the road determines the OB. So the road to the cottage is inbounds, but anything to the right of the road is out of bounds.
Yeah, right edge of the road.
The right, so basically the OB line is the right edge of the dirt path. Now it's quite well defined, but again, if there's any doubt, the benefit goes to the player. Hope that answers the question. Is the road OB? No, the road itself is not OB, just so it's anything to the right of the road.
Right edge.
Right edge of the road is, so the right edge of the road is kind of the line. Anything to the right of that is OB. Where are we now? Hole 11. Hole 11, yeah, we all tee off in the same place. Just a reminder that we have the sponsored CTP prize there, sponsored by Airfit. Thank you, Brian. And also the first ace on there also gets a prize sponsored by Airfit. So yeah, if you're kind of out the running, I think give that one a go. Nothing, no harm. It's quite short. I think everybody could have a shot at it. But otherwise, no OB, no Mandos, very straightforward. Excuse me. Okay, hole 12, nothing to say. No OB no OB, no Mandos, just long, uphill, hard. I think you're happy with par there.
Yeah, very happy.
Hole 13, we all play Gandalf from the same place. If you miss, should you miss the double Mando? I forgot to say on all those Mando, on the double Mandos, you've got to imagine, maybe I should go back to hole 8 just now, but basically if there's a double Mando, the front edge of the tree, the front edge of both trees, the line between those two is the Mando plane. If you want to determine if your disc has gone, if you missed the Mando.
Yeah.
On
9 would be the same.
Yeah, 9. Well, on 9, the Mando plane is from the tree that's marked up until the brick wall. That's where
that's
the
9.
dog can. Oh, that's 9. Oh, sorry, no, that's 9. So 9, same thing, double Mando. So as you approach the two Mando trees, the point that's furthest towards you, those 2 points, a line between that determines the Mando plane. And on hole 8. To determine if you missed the Mando on the right-hand side, you draw a line from that point, I don't think of a word for it, the closest point to you on the Mando tree to the middle of the brick wall.
Yeah. The brick wall is kind of near the dog kennels.
Yeah, there's a brick wall. You see there's dog kennels on the right. There's a brick wall. So you draw a line from the middle of the brick wall to the Mando tree, and that can determine if you missed the Mando. 4 blue and white layouts.
Question from
Frequent flyer. Who's that again? That's is that Marcus? think it's Marcus. Okay. Frequent flyer. Is there a marker for hole 11? I can't read that. Is there a marker for hole 11?
Closer to the
Oh,
pin.
CTP.
Charles.
I'm going to give. I have a CTP marker. I'll try and drop it there in the morning. So yeah, just put that stake down, put your name on the board, and then yeah, if you later beat it, move it closer, and put your name. Yeah, cross out the other guy, and okay. Brian's got one. Okay, Brian. We just have to get it there, or we give it to the first card perhaps to take with. In fact, Brian, you're on the first card, so you can take it with. Don't forget, because it's early in the morning. Cool. Okay, so then hole 14 down the hill. We just have with the string. Okay, well done, Brian, with the string to measure. Hole 14 down the hill. We just have the big Mando tree that you have to pass on the left. We have the Mando. The Mando tree, and the tree just to the left of it determines that line. We determine if you've missed the Mando, and we have a Mando miss drop zone between those two trees. As you see, there's two sets of cone, or 2 times 2 cones, and that's where you would take the drop from. I don't think there's anything else on 14. Hole 15, nothing to say other than beware there may be people up there, so just be careful when you throw that you don't.
Let them tee.
Yeah, and let them tee off first so they're out the way when you play your tee shots.
If there's people playing to 10 and 15 at the same time, should they just decide between them who finishes first?
Yeah, I think if people are playing holes 10 and 15 at the same time, you shouldn't be much danger, I don't think, of hitting each other.
More for putting.
But if you're putting, I think just sort out between yourselves. Just I think, but maybe just let one card finish and then the other card. Don't kind of do it 1-1-1-1-1. That's going to be very confusing. Hole
16.
Yeah, Green Mile. There's nothing much to say there. Throw long and hard and get your birdie. Hole 17. Again, the hazard only applies to the blue layout. So only the blue layout you have to try and get in that circle. Does not apply to the white and red layouts. Nothing much more there. Yeah, 18 is the one where you have the white stakes along the stream, but very early on there are no white stakes. People don't often go there, but if you do, if you're in the stream or beyond it, then you're clearly OB. If you're kind of in front of it, then you probably get the benefit of the doubt and you're still inbounds.
Also OB long.
And also remember there's OB long as well. Then hole 19. So if you sometimes confusion about the lower field, the lower field is a hazard, but the slope between the upper field and the lower field is not a hazard. So if you somehow manage to get your disc to come to rest on the slope, then you are inbounds. You have a bit of a tricky shot because you're on a slope, but you are still inbounds. And just remember, there's OB long, the toilet, that brick toilet building, and it's the fence around it. That's all OB. Yeah, and the showground and the area before that is all OB. So lots of OB.
This is Ananda.
Hey, Savage. I don't know who you are, but yes, this is Ananda. Who is Savage? Savage Lit. Identify yourself immediately.
It's Josh.
Hey, Josh. Yeah. Okay. Hole 20.
Our best is
Are we on hole 20? Are we on hole 20?
Not 20, yeah.
Covering it.
Hole 20. Yeah. Again, the hazard only applies to the blue layout. I trimmed a few branches today, and I noticed that somebody else also decided to trim a few branches. I don't know what happened in the practice round, but a few of those small branches have been removed, so there's a little less opportunity to hit branches on your tee shot. And just bear in mind, just on the blue layout, it's only the field that's the hazard, not if you hit an early tree and you're still not on the field, and you're still inbounds. Guilty, Mr. Mills, you see. Okay. All right, and then finally, hole 21. Again, blue and white tee off on this side of the lake. This is where tomorrow I need to check, but I'm going to have someone for the MPO and FPO cards, because it's kind of the championship. That's for the Open Championship. I'm going to have one or hopefully two people who will keep an eye on the OB side of things. So it's very difficult to judge whether a disc has gone inbounds on the other side. Sometimes you get discs that go inbounds and then skip out into the reeds or OB. Sometimes they go straight there, and that determination can be quite difficult. So I'm going to try and have one or two people there who will be determining that for the MPO and FPO divisions. That's, I think, all on 21. So that's kind of the I'm caddying for Alex. Huh.
Got a caddy.
Okay, what do you know?
Where's my caddy?
As I said on the group, once you finish your rounds, you can go and find Andrea, Chris's wife. I'm not sure where she'll be sitting exactly, but at that point, the first card that comes off, you can maybe help Andrea set up the basket just beyond where the practice baskets are on the fairway of number one. And then they, in that first group that comes off, can then start the got back up putting challenge. And then as every group comes in, please find Andrea and have your turn at it. $500 to be won for the furthest putt / throw in, or what do you want to call it. Exciting stuff. And then in terms of the non-tournament stuff, you all have your vouchers. When I left, they were supposed to be putting up a tent, and that tent is supposed to be reserved for the disc golf community, so players and their supporters. I don't think it was up yet. I think it had arrived, but hadn't been set up yet. So it'll be set up, I'm sure, by the time people want to go and eat. So preferentially go and sit there, because they know that's where the disc golfers will be. You can use the rest of the restaurant if it's available, but it looks like they have a lot of bookings for Father's Day tomorrow, so there may not be that much space. You might end up in that tent anyway. And the second request would be particularly tomorrow, because it's going to be quite busy. Maybe, for the players, you maybe use your voucher. It seems as if the restaurant will also allow supporters to also order from that menu. So some items on the special menu are not on the main menu. So pretty much that special menu is kind of for the disc golfers. So I think to speed up the time taken for you to get your food, maybe order from the disc golf. Let's call it the disc golf menu. It's likely to be quicker than if you go and order, a prawn and chorizo, penne, whatever. It's probably going to take a long time. If you order a quick chicken prego, hopefully the kitchen can get that out quickly to you. Monday, probably a little bit less busy. So that might be a little bit more relaxed. But I would say for tomorrow, maybe try and order from the disc golf menu. That's for supporters then. And just bear in mind that if you do want to order from the main menu, all drinks and all food, just show them that digital certificate, and they should give you a 10% discount. All right. Any more questions?
One more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
Warm up puddle field.
Okay, yeah, good point. So obviously we're going to have people teeing off from about 20 to 9 until midday. And as we all know, you don't want to be running up to throw your, to make your first throw of the tournament. And then as you're about to release the disc, you hear the sound of chains. So all warm-up must be done on the polo field. We have a practice basket there, and there's a big wide open space for practice throws. Of course, the usual safety concerns apply. Don't throw when there's people not aware. But I'll come to that query now. But so please, and then obviously you then have to keep, it's about 3-4 minute walk if you walk briskly from the polo field to hole number 1, to the tee of hole number 1. So do keep an eye on the time. We will have a speaker and a microphone. I'm not sure how well you'll hear it at the polo field. I'm not sure. So just keep track of the time, please.
Yeah, so I say walking to the polo field, just take the rickety bridge.
Yeah, and to get to the polo field, there's that little wooden it is very rickety. We call it the rickety bridge. It's kind of embarrassing, but it is rickety. So just walk on the studs. Don't walk. You'll see one plank is half loose, so you don't want any accidents. But that is the quickest way to the polo field.
Also doesn't cross any fairways.
Okay, just one question here. The disc golf menu, I think, is available until late. Actually, I'm not. Actually, a good question. I think they're just geared up to service that entire weekend. So they haven't given any cutoff on the serving of the disc golf menu. So one question, one further back, Shane, they put a tape from I think where you enter the field from the parking lot. I think they put a tape from there until the corner of the horse paddock, the OB horse paddocks on hole 1. So all the cars should be parked onto the right of that. So we should be good for hole 1's fairway not being impacted. So that's the golf menu. Andrea will be at the got backup stand. Okay, so just look out for that. Etienne, one basket. Yeah, Plonker here actually had the basket with him, but didn't bring the base. And now tomorrow morning I'm transporting 78 player pack bags. But if you could bring one, that'd be fantastic. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna ask.
No throwing on the field once it's
on the
course once it's started.
Yeah, that's another thing. Once the tournament starts, until the tournament starts at 20-9, you could still kind of throw around the field on the bowl, whatever. But as soon as the tournament starts, PDGA rules, we can't play on the course. So you'd have to go and do your warm-up. You have to go do your warm-up throws on the polo field.
In general, the polo field is the best.
So polo field is also nice and open. You're not going to lose a disc there. It's very wide. So yeah, that's probably the best place to go and mentally prepare and all those good things. Let's see what else. I'm going to go around my table here. Any questions from the guys here? Shaul?
Footing on 1 when you go OB left, because it's on top of the.
Oh, you take your 1 meter, right? Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be tricky footing because you're standing on top of because the stakes on top of the.
On the embankment.
on the
No,
bank,
but you go inbound, so you have a meter in. You're not standing on the slope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stand
Remember,
on top.
yeah, just remember, if you do go OB anywhere, you can go a meter perpendicular from the OB line and take your next shot from there. Yeah, it's difficult to take a run up. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You basically can't take a run up. Yeah, you're kind of screwed then. Yeah.
You can go anywhere if you're OB. Only if you're in.
Oh yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So OB you can take. Doesn't have to be perpendicular. It can be any angle. So you can be a little bit closer to the basket. But yeah, you can't. You can't kind of take a run up because you can't take a run up from out of OB. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
correct. Yeah.
if you think you can run up from out of OB,
yeah,
as long as when you
your
release,
football
you're in.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
it.
Okay.
It's release in bounds.
Maybe
So-
Jaco knows. He's done the test.
Yaku, do you know that offhand?
Can you?
And also, if you
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow that, Yaku. So if you go OB,
Can you run up in
you
OB?
have the meter, but I think you can still take a run up out of OB as long as when you release the disc, your
Your
foot is inbounds. Yeah, foot cannot be on OB when released. But okay, but if you're not, yeah, that's on
Actually,
release.
saw a pro
Yeah.
do it the other day. They jumped from. They just don't go OB. It's fine.
Yeah, don't go OB. Yeah,
even if you're not OB.
so you can do do a run up. Yeah, you
If you're
can.
not OB, then you can get your meter perpendicular.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not OB, but you're like
Run up
within a
front,
meter of the OB line, you can actually move it to that meter so that you
That's
just to
across
make that
for all
easier.
lines.
Okay, so all right, guys. So I think that's about it. Are there any last questions, last minute questions there? Obviously, we have. If anything comes to mind, I'll put it on the group. Maybe one last thing. Just make sure that you've downloaded that, if you can, that PDJ Live app. There's a link to like a browser link to the scorecard, but the PDJ Live app is kind of nice. It has. You can click on the live updates. It just kind of works nicely. You can see what the rest of the divisions are doing. So the PDJ Live app will be good to download, and then make sure you have data, battery. Also make sure that there's no toilets anywhere on the far end of the course. So make sure that you've had a little toilet break before you start your round, so you're not caught literally with your pants down. Make sure of that. Make sure you have some water. It's quite chilly, so you don't feel that you're getting dehydrated or that you might be hot, but make sure you take water on board, take some nutrition along. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll come to that now. Just so make sure you have some nutrition, some food. It is going to be hot day. It's going to be hot. It was very hot this afternoon. So make sure you have sunscreen as usual, and maybe just layer up. So you can take some layers off as the day progresses. I don't expect any frost early in the morning. Should be okay, but maybe you never know. So maybe take a little towel so you can give your disc a wipe if you have to. Okay, just a quick question, Dwayne. Where do you pick up our t-shirts? Leon is bringing the t-shirts to the restaurant or to Ananda. I don't know what time he's teeing off or what time Leon will be there. I don't know if Leon is on the chat, but otherwise, as soon as Leon brings them, then in principle they're available for collection. So I could put that on the group, or Leon could put it on the group, and then we'll probably hand those to Fred as well, depending on the time, and Fred can hand them out and have you signed for those as well. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you haven't seen the tournament disc, I know, and it is cool. I think it's really cool. We've also made some kind of associated posters with it that will be for sale. We printed some. We printed a limited amount that we for sale for 50 Rand each. If there's a huge demand, we can always get more printed. Have a look at those. They will also be with Fred in the morning, matching the sort of theme of the shirt and the disc. Then we have another question. Touch on must use markers to
mark your discs for footballs.
Yeah, just to be for footballs. Oh just to touch on it, that this is a PGA tournament and it is kind of SA Champs, so we do have to kind of apply all the rules equally so that nobody has an unfair advantage. And one of those things is that if you want to, when you throw in your disc, you have two options. You either wherever the disc lands, you take another disc, and then the disc you'd thrown previously is your marker. That kind of demarcates where you have to throw from. Or you can take a mini marker. It has to be a specific mini marker. It can't be, any old object. It's got to be an approved mini marker disc. And you can place that in front of your thrown disc in the line towards the basket. And then you can, once you've done that, you can pick up the disc that you've thrown and then throw it again. So that's kind of important to have that. I can bring some mini markers if anyone doesn't have, because sometimes it is kind of handy. Also, if you've got an OB, it makes it complicated if you don't have a mini marker disc. So bottom line is, if you want to play disc golf, get a mini marker disc. You kind of need one. And foot faults as well. This is kind of, just be careful here. So you have an A4 sheet behind where your disc is lying, where you have to, where a foot has to be, your foot has to be on that A4 area when you release the disc. If you're in front of it or way behind it, then the card should call you on a foot fault, an instant one-stroke penalty. Just watch that you're not abusing that, and yeah, just check on your card mates that they're not doing that mistake. You may want to just give them a bit of leeway and say, oh, you were a bit close there. But if it is a repetitive thing, then you just call them. It's the only way people are going to learn. If they keep on, sometimes you're like stuck behind a tree, and that extra 20, 30 centimeters or whatever you do can make a difference to being able to execute a shot or having a really tough shot. So, yeah, I know it seems a little anal, but let's just apply the rules, and then it's just fair across the board.
Question.
There's a question from Garrick. Are they going to be? Oh, there's a question from Garrick first. Yes, there are going to be videographers only on Monday. There'll be 2 of them. There'll also be a photographer on Monday, kindly sponsored by Vincent. So I don't know. We still have to determine the exact time that they'll be arriving, but I guess it'll be sort of. I'm guessing somewhere maybe around 10, so they could pick up some of the video action of all the competitors. But the idea is, I think that we get them to capture some of the MPO and FPO action coming in towards the final 9 type of thing, or the final 6, whatever the time works out being. So the answer is yes. We are going to have some videographers, as you know, as part of our sponsorship deal. We have to do a couple of videos for Discmania. So we are going to have. It's going to be a cool video, I hope. Then we have a question from Shane. I'll come to you, Alex. What happens when you kick your mark on the throw? Is that a foot fault?
Technically, yes.
If you did it
Like-
before you release the disc, yes.
Yeah, I think if you kind of hit it as you're executing the throw, then it's a foot fault. If it's kind of afterwards, you release the disc and your foot kind of behind, then it's probably okay. May you turn over a disc if I can't read that
Flip the
actually.
disc.
You can't flip a disc. No, in tournament play you can't flip a disc and use that as the. We do that in casual play, but not in a tournament. That's that one. Okay, a question from Alex.
If you lose a disc, search for 3 minutes, you don't find it. When do you want people to go look for it? After the whole of all rounds of that day.
Okay, Alex asked question. Well, is making a point. If you lose a disc, so you have, you throw a disc and you can't find it. It was the same question asked me today. What happens? When does the 3 minute kick in? Well, I guess it's a little bit.
My question is, you look for 3 minutes, you don't find it, so then you play the rest round. But obviously, you want to go get your disc back.
Oh,
Should you wait for all the cards to finish before you then go look?
Sorry, the question is, when can you go look for your lost disc? Let's say you lost a disc, you finish your round. No, I think, Alex, you can go and look for it, but obviously be aware of all the spectator guidelines. So, don't interfere with play while you're doing it. But 3 minutes to look for discs. So at a certain point, I guess go as a card, go there, start looking, and then after 30, 40 seconds, somebody should say, I'm going to start a stopwatch now. And then after 3 minutes, that's just the end of it. And you have to go back to where your previous lie was to make the same throw again with the addition of a penalty stroke. Unless it was OB, in which case you can play it. If the card agrees it was OB, then you just play it as if it went OB, and then normally there's a point close to where it was lost. Kyle says, I'll be bringing a selection of used discs from 100 Rand to 150 Rand. Okay, cool, there we go.
If anyone's venturing the lake, go to that man.
So you may want to just pick one of those up in case you want to go across the lake, which you may not always do. Any more questions? I think if there are any further questions, you can also raise them with me or on the group. Otherwise, I want to wish everyone the best of luck. I hope it's going to be a great tournament. The weather's going to be great. The atmosphere is going to be great. So let's go out and have a fantastic time like we always do. And and then we'll see you.
And then one last thing with the social media, when you're playing in that and you want to take photos and post them, just remember to tag the Disc Golf South Africa Instagram page, and then we can share it on our side as well. And then if you do take a lot of photos and videos during the day that you don't want to post on social media, you can just send that to as at the end, and then we can maybe compile some of the informal stuff that happens throughout the day and
Yeah.
kind of create
I think,
a vibe on social media for that
yeah, I
too.
think you, me, or Garrick send us one of us.
Yeah, send it to one of us, but we can, just take some cool stuff and then we'll sort it out afterwards.
Okay, guys. So yeah, with that, let's close the TD meeting. I'll see you all in the morning, bright and breezy. Get a good night's sleep, and yeah, peace and good luck tomorrow.
Okay,
All right.